In the world of Sakamoto days, there are many insane assassins with powers you could never even imagine. But the ones who stand at the tippity top of this world are the monsters known as the Order. These assassins are equal to or even stronger than Taro Sakamoto himself. Don't believe me? Well, just take a look at this old man.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
The legendary, the iconic, the strongest Takamura. This guy is the epitome of what it means to be a badass old man in anime. He is a retired aura farmer without doubt. Thus, it is no surprise that Takamura earned the title of being a killer with no brakes. Power is pretty much all he knows. He mostly just mutters to himself as it's his sword that does all the talking. Acting mostly on instinct, Takamura can instantly target those he senses hostility from, or any target marked by the JAA or the Order. And unlike Kindaka, Takamura doesn't give a shit if you're caught in the crossfire. He will slice an entire building in half with a single attack without a care in the world of who is in there, as long as his target is. That being said, he can be nice still. He helped Sakamoto save Tokyo Tower from collapsing, showing that he still had some sense of justice. Yet this didn't stop him later turning on Sakamoto and Nagamo during the assassination exhibit after the JAA placed bounties on them. And that's because his loyalty to the JAA and his mission is possibly the only thing stronger than his blade, as Takamura even cut off his own arm when he was trapped by X's organization. And to put into perspective just how insanely powerful this dude actually is, he's the only character to genuinely strike fear into X and his group. Even Slur feared facing him, hoping Takamura was already dead. And that is just how legendary his strength is, as Takamura is also the only person capable of defeating Sakamoto, Nagamo, Azuki, Gaku, and Haruma simultaneously with ease, all of which are either former Order members on the level of being ones like Azuki or Gaku, or below like Haruma. Sakamoto himself believed Takamura had grown even stronger over time. His speed and reflexes were so advanced that he could move faster than the human eye could see, slashing opponents before they even realized what was happening. Even whilst walking slowly, he could attack without any visible movement. He could also block blows from the likes of Sakamoto with minimal effort, slice through steel and concrete, and even sever a museum in half by bracing his sword sheath against the floor. Seriously, leave some aura for the rest of us, please, old man. Oh wait, actually, you know what? Never mind, because I forgot that there was also the time where Takamura once decapitated a JAA assassin so swiftly that the victim had time to see their own severed head spinning in a mirror. What the f***? In fact, his precision with the blade is so incredibly clean that severed limbs could be reattached with minimal surgery, retaining full functionality. But then possibly the most iconic thing this geezer has done is use bullets shot at him to sharpen his katana mid-fight.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Unfortunately though, aura of this magnitude was simply too much for Sakamoto days. As a result, Takamura met his fate against Slur. In spite of this, Takamura's impact had such an everlasting effect on Slur that he adopted the old man's entire personality as a coping mechanism. Thus, now would probably be a good time to talk about the greatest assassin to ever live, Taro Sakamoto. He was amazing. All bad guys feared him and all hitmen revered him. Sakamoto was very much the face of the Order when he was in his prime, and he may not have been on the level of Takamura, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't still the greatest when it comes to assassination. The reason for this is what Akao mentioned. Within a room full of random objects, Sakamoto would win 100 times out of 100, and this is significant. An assassin has to use their surroundings to their advantage, and Sakamoto was by far the GOAT at this. We're talking cold water at 3 AM, 2012 Lionel Messi, OG Fortnite level assassination skills. Then during his prime, Sakamoto was also the best in seemingly all combat. And why do we know this? Well, the database, aka the man who has been working at the JCC for years and has a photographic memory seeing countless talented assassins, said that Sakamoto was the best fighter he'd ever seen. Like I said, he truly was the face of this new golden age of the Order, but to understand how strong he is, we have to briefly go over some of his insane feats. We've seen him deflect bullets with a cough drop, stop a bus with a stop sign, deflect sniper bullets with his bare hands. Then he even showed on the stealth mission that he can still be stealthy despite his size. Not even Shin could sense him with his mind reading when he does this. And well, he's also a master of seemingly every weapon ever. I mean, he was the top ranked sniper in the JCC until Heisuke showed up. But Sakamoto truly showed what he's made of in his battles. Sakamoto's first of which, after retiring, was against Boiled, who had been active the entire time Sakamoto was gone, and despite this, when he transforms back into his skinny form, Boiled stood zero chance. We also later see him fight against another member of the Order, Kanaguri, who managed to kill Satoda. Yet Sakamoto, after his upgrade from Granny Mia, still manages to have the upper hand against him without even transforming. And I'll get into Kanaguri more soon, but the key takeaway here is that Sakamoto easily defeats him once he does transform. Now, I've also mentioned how Sakamoto was stronger than Nagamo, but how do we know this? Well, when fighting Takamura, Nagamo stood zero chance against him, while Sakamoto didn't fare much better. He still put up a much better fight. This is despite being significantly weaker than his prime, as he mentioned that he needs to get back to that point. And how exactly does Sakamoto plan to do that? Well, by farming XP against members of the Order. Yep, that's right. He not only managed to take a blow from Kindaka in chapter 177, but also landed a pretty heavy one in return. Then quickly following this, he faces Torres, one of the newer members of the Order, who is no joke, but again, we'll get into more about him later. But essentially, Torres simply wants Sakamoto to get stronger so that his bounty is worth more, as he is 60 million yen in debt. Meaning, whilst yes, he is technically holding back, it goes to show Sakamoto's level when only members of the Order are worth training against.